Good afternoon, anti-novelists. Just a lovely, gorgeous, sunny day out on the Cowder Ranch. Let's see down here. Who do we have? Oh, hello. This is the cat that we lovingly refer to as the gremlin. Not so lovingly, the squatter. She just showed up. So yeah, I'm intending to get rid of her in this next week because we don't need another cat. So let's come in here and do something fun. I don't do this sort of thing very often because, to be totally honest, I don't have a lot of time to read. But, you know, the weather's turning cold. It gets dark by 5 o'clock. I am indulging in a little bit of reading, and I got to tell you, I'm loving it. So today we're going to do something different, and I'm going to do a book haul because this is my fat stack from the week. Whew, gotta love it. But first, a word count update. I only did 423 words today, but I finished the chapter on theme and identifying and writing your book's theme. So that was awesome. So we're sitting at 45,402 words. Yay! So welcome to Zettelkasten for Fiction, where imagination finds order. That is for fiction writers. So let's just jump into it. The first book that I picked up is a chonk. I can use this as a doorstop if I need to. Try getting that many words for 20 bucks anyplace else. So this is the collected stories of Lydia Davis, and I chose this because Lydia Davis is a pioneer in short story writing. Well, as you know, in the book that I'm writing for you, I have a big chunky section on short fiction. All the way from the shortest of the short fiction, which is 25 words, up to the 1,000 to 3,000 word short fiction, which all of that is now kind of classified as microfiction. But that is what it is. So, Lydia Davis, I love her. I make reference in my book to her early on method of writing when she was a young woman living in France. She would wake up every morning and she would just record in her journal everything around her, whether it was the particulates of dust in the sunlight beams, if it was the mess of books and papers on her desk, whatever. She would just record what she saw. And that became the equivalent of what I call in the book the experience collection. So yeah, you'll be creating this nice stack of cards alongside me with the book. So Lydia Davis, I am thoroughly going to enjoy her short stories because she is an amazing old school writer. I think she's in like maybe her late 70s now. And my Lilligan and anti-novelist friend out there, you know who you are. I want to say my Lilligan friend's, I think her sister maybe, is mentioned by Lydia Davis in her book, which super cool, right? We've got a one celebrity removed among us. So love that. Next book, Unlocking the Novella in Flash by Michael Loveday. This, I am told by those who are in the know and who know things, is the definitive book for writing novellas using shorter pieces of flash fiction, which are generally 1,000 words or less. So in the words of the writer who I talked about in a couple of previous videos, Kieran Westwood, who is an amazing short story writer, by the way. Go read Gold Fury, his novella in Flash. It's just awesome. He recommended Loveday's book because it is really a workbook and an exposition on novellas in Flash. And so I have ordered a second book, which should be here this week. I know, I've gone book crazy. A collection of microfiction stories that also discusses how they're written. So I'm super, super looking forward to those. Then I got This New Ocean by William E. Burroughs, the story of the first space age. This is super cool. I'm already, let's see, where am I? I'm already on page 157. This is really work. Yeah, I wish I could say that I'm reading all these books for fun, but I'm not. They're all reference books for different aspects of things that I'm writing. But this one particularly informs the beginning of the space age, the genesis of rockets, and it has something to do with book 2 in my novel trilogy. So I've written book 1, which is The Conjuring Stitch. That book, if you know anything about me, hinges on a critical, unreadable manuscript. And this book, New Ocean, makes reference to another important 15th century manuscript. So that's why I'm reading this, to inform book 2 of my novel series. So this is tertiary research. Then we have the classic Thomas Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow. My original copy of this book is so beat up, dog-eared, post-it noted, and highlighted, you almost can't call it a book anymore. It's downstairs where the protected old books live in the humidified, safe atmosphere. So I went ahead and said, what the heck, I'm getting a new copy, and I'm going to go back and reread Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow. Number 1, because I love it. Number 2, because it's been 25 years since I've read it, and I want to try it out again and just see if it fits the same size, so to speak. And my novel is going to be long, and so in my Fusion Writing group, which is linked down below, if you go to LiLLiPub.org and join us over in LiLLiPub, you can join Fusion Writing, which is where we are reading this bad boy, Erin Morgenstern's The Starless Sea. Can I just tell you, bees and keys and swords. I'm so excited. So I cheated and I got the downloadable sample on my Kindle so I could read, I think it's about the first 100 pages, because it was going to take me a day. I ordered this yesterday morning. So this morning I woke up early and I read the beginning of this book, and I think I'm going to love it. It's atmospheric. It's non-linear. It almost reads like a series of loosely connected short stories that make up the novel, but with an overarching kind of character through line. So definitely not your standard Western conflict-driven 8 plot point narrative. Definitely not your traditional 3 or 4 act structure. Morgenstern goes off the rails and just writes an atmospheric, character-driven, very poetic book. So that's what I know. I'm only on page 100, but I can say the writing is beautiful. It's a world I can't wait to get back into. I don't want to leave it when I have to stop reading. So those are always good signs. And we're reading it as an exercise over in LiLLiPub in the writers group, because we are collectively working on a story in another world. So looking at you, Julianne Scherer, who put us up to this task. I will also link down below to the Zettelkasten, which is a weekly roundtable discussion where the 5 of us who are working on this story that we're writing get together and talk about the story and talk about character development and plotting and setting and all of those cool aspects of story. So if you want to see how a story begins, what that looks like, the genesis of it, and how it evolves with 5 different writers, you got to come over to LiLLiPub.org and join us in the writers group and check it out. As I said, I'll link the videos down below. I think the first 4 or 5 weeks of episodes are up. So you could literally get in on the ground floor of us writing an original collection. It'll probably be a collection of stories on a shared common theme that we have dreamed up with the esteemed Julianne Scherer, my colleague in LiLLiPub, at the helm, guiding us into this amazing world. So the Starless Sea, I think, will inform that writing simply because I believe it's kind of in the same subgenre of a fantastical, non-conflict driven plot that just takes you through different aspects of character and story on more of a meta level. So there you have it. I'm going to leave you there today. It's almost 5 o'clock. I have to put up my writing call with my co-founder over at LiLLiPub at 5:30. And then at 6:30 is our creative writing group where we workshop stories. I've got a short piece in for tonight's workshop. So I am going to grab a bite to eat and then get cracking. I've still got 2 hours of meetings to have, all in the world of writing. So I can honestly say this project, having the Zettelkasten for Fiction Writers book to work on for you guys, in addition to having my novel to finish, I get to wake up every morning and live my dream life, and I cannot thank each one of you enough for that. Your subscriptions to this channel, your support in the comments, your questions that help push me forward, your thumbs up and high fives for my getting the writing done. It's really, truly a dream come true. I am getting to live the life I always dreamed of. So thank you all. I appreciate you, and I will keep showing up every single day, and we will get these books read and written.